trying to find us another map to play on.
Alright, take your time.
That I mostly main toss and second Zerg. Whoa, whoops! This is a 2v2. My bad. It says it's a 1v1. What the fuck?
Cute. Mislabeled.
Let's try this again. Let's see if it actually loads as 1v1 this time. When I create a lobby. There we go. I main toss, but my
Gotcha.
Zerg is so much better. Because toss are the worst in the game at this point, and they have been since Liberty.
Right.
Also, I wasn't even gonna buy Wall, because they're like, oh, HOTS is gonna be standalone, and so is Legacy of the Void.
Oh, yeah, but then they're like, nope.
Yeah, like I actually went out and bought HOTS and got back, and it wouldn't let me activate unless I picked up Wings.
Not enough
And I
minerals.
was like, you fuckers lied to me. So then I waited like 2 weeks because I was mad. So I didn't. I mean, I had played Wall before, and I'd played through the single player and all that, but it wasn't. I'm trying to think how to word this. It was on the guest pass version.
Gotcha.
I was like, I know they've got a term for it. Yeah, it was on the guest pass version, and that was pretty cool and all, but I just don't like Terran.
SCV ready. Sure thing. Woo-hoo! Overtime. Uh-huh. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Words are escaping me right now. Yeah, so then I got it for HOTS because I was like, I would like to know what's going on when the Protoss expansion comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
And then now Legacy that Void's back to standalone.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
Blizzard fucked me for my money. So
Big job, huh?
I have no idea where you're at. Let's find out.
Yeah. SCV ready. Move it. SCV ready. In the rear with the gear. SCV ready. Yo. Ah, you scared me. Yep. Yes, sir. Gotcha. Huh? You're the boss. Yep. We'll butter my biscuit. What's going on? Yeah. Uh-huh. It's your time.
Upgrade complete.
Ah! You scared me! Go, go, go! Armed and ready. SCV ready. Roger. Who wants some? Been waiting on you.
Unhappy times.
In the rear with the gear. Uh-huh. Huh? SCV ready. Go ahead. Yes, sir. Gangway coming through. Yep. This better be good. In the rear with the gear. You want a piece of me, boy? And more. Go ahead. Armed and ready. Who wants some?
Add-on complete.
Yep. Huh? Gangway coming through. Yeah, yeah. Been waiting on you. Go, go, go! Aye, aye, sir. You want a piece of me, boy? This better be good. I'm going. Who wants some? You gonna give me orders? Ready to roll out. Rolling out. Armed and ready. Go ahead. Yeah.
Base is under attack. Under attack.
This better be good.
Okay, your beginning was better. Don't build the refinery before the barracks. Don't even worry about gas that early.
Okay.
Generally, you want to go 10 supply, and then I think it's 14 barracks. And then start, churning out Marines alongside SCV. You don't really want to stop building workers until you've got, close to the max for your fields there. You generally want 2/3 of the max. You want 2 on every mineral field.
Okay.
And if you're at that point and you're still feeling like you're behind on fuck the hell on resources, that's when you want to expand. I did a really, really early expansion, which is generally regarded as stupid. My second base came up around the same time your barracks came up, to give you an idea.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I would stop doing orbital command if I were you.
Okay.
Just because you do seem to have that early scout, which I wouldn't recommend using a worker for. Just because you're not at that level. That's going to hurt your curve. Your resource curve.
Gotcha.
So just send out like your first Marine. Because if you do barracks before refinery and then worry about gas when you need it, more or less,
Okay.
then that'll keep your guys on the supply line, and it'll also give you the opportunity to do some harass while you're in there.
Gotcha.
But just with how bad I've been smacking you around, not that I'm trying to talk shit or anything, but I've noticed you don't really use the orbital command that often, and then when you do, you tend to drop it in the same spot. So I'm able to just position my buildings around where you're scanning.
Right.
So, I mean, you can still go for it, if you get better with using it. But the planetary fortress is going to give you some better defense there that
Okay.
I think you vastly need. I mean, if you still want to have the orbital, I'd build it on an expansion base.
Gotcha.
Just that way you still have the planetary in your main, because that'll help stop some of the bleeding. Yeah. I mean, I'm not seeing anything too terribly wrong. I notice you don't build a lot of units. But I think that's stemming from you don't build enough workers.
Probably.
You just start going gas and then teching out, and that's not going to be great. That works wonders against the AI, but I don't know if you're looking at the graphs.
No, I backed out. I don't know if I can go back into that.
Maybe. Let me try this. Watch replay as party. Actually, you should just watch me during this replay, just to get an idea, and then maybe it'll let us take a look at the graphs afterwards, and I'll watch you and see if I can come up with more things that you're doing wrong.
Yeah, no, I think I'm starting to get where a lot of my weakness is, because you're right, I play against, most of my play in Starcraft has been mainly like the story and AI and whatnot, so...
Yeah.
Like, I've never had anybody be able to tell me, okay, this isn't going to work because of that, this, and the other, so...
Well, I just figured, with all the high-level StarCraft you guys watch that I don't really, because I don't have the time to watch a 3-hour single match out of a 16-man elimination tournament. I just can't do it.
I actually don't really watch all that much StarCraft. I only watch the Clan Wars because TB puts the replays up on his channel. on his secondary Starcraft channel. So every now and then I check that and like, oh, there's a new match that he put up. Like, I don't track Starcraft down.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, Jesus. What? I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out what you're doing here.
Well, good luck.
If you watch the resource counts in the corner, you'll notice I stay fairly low until much later in the game. And I'm noticing, like, you're sitting on 300 and not building workers. You're sitting on almost 400. You could probably expand at this point. At the rate you're going, and you're not doing anything. Because resources are only useful if you're using them. Like, that was a thing that I did a lot early on. And then I saw, like, a few matches, and I was like, man, these people just pump out things as soon as they can. Like, because you weren't making workers for better part of 50 seconds, and then you just queued up 3. Like, if you had just done them when you could build them, 2 of them would already be working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, it took you a little bit, but you hotkeyed one. You've got one just standing there not doing anything, which I don't fully understand, because you moved your rally for some reason. Like, if you want to move your guys to gas, because I noticed this is when you've got the refinery set up and all, like, switch the rally to gas, but remember to switch it back to minerals afterwards.
Gotcha. Okay. I didn't realize I could rally onto something like that.
Yeah, because it actually starts by default rallied onto minerals now, but you just sort of moved it way off into the middle of nowhere, and sometimes your SCVs are sitting there for 10, 20 seconds not doing anything.
Gotcha.
Yeah, your SCV missed my second hatchery. Like, it was building, and I was like, oh no, that SCV's gonna attack that hatchery, and I'm gonna have to do something about it, and you just cruised right by it. Yeah, even with your slow start, which again isn't all that bad. It's just, you're not building enough workers and everything. You've got so many resources more than me at this point that you could have had like a solid early game Marine harass, and I think I would have probably folded to that because I was just playing the late game plan because I didn't want to steamroll you with Zerglings. Because I know how badly that went for you last time.
Yeah, well, that was also the whole, I didn't actually make a proper wall.
Yeah.
Which didn't help things.
Right. Building the bunker before you've got Marines to fill it is bad. In general, you want to save bunkers till a little bit later, till you've got a little bit more of things to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly you just gotta keep a better eye on your workers, because you're sitting on almost 1,000 minerals at this point and not really doing a whole lot with it. I mean, you're putting Marines in a bunker, and you're building a factory, but that's about it. You've got an SCV just standing here. Like, one of the big things that I noticed you tend to use the orbital command for is calling down mules, which is not a bad thing. It's a decent spike in your economy. But if you had just stayed on top of your workers throughout the early game, you would have more than 9 people on minerals right now, and you'd be better off.
Gotcha.
So the factory's finally done, and the SCV's just standing there. If you hold shift, right?
Okay.
You can queue up commands for a worker. So you can
okay.
build this, and then get back on the mineral line. You just drag it around and set it.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I see you building stuff with 3 different SCVs and then just leaving them standing there not doing anything. This is about the point where things start to go really bad for you.
Yeah, most likely.
My Spire's already started. I'm cranking out absurd amounts of resources and got two bases with 6 people on gas right now, and your factory's not doing anything. It's just sitting here. You're starting to build the starport. Like you're going tech out. Like you're building the tech lab for the factory, which I don't quite get. Because you would think if you build the factory, you probably don't want the starport that much.
Okay.
Factory tends to be more mech builds. Starport tends to be slightly used in mech builds for like Vikings, but mostly when you go for the starport, you're building medevacs because you're going a bio ball plan. But I mean, you've got 9 Marines at this point. You're still not really doing a whole lot. You've got 2 bunkers full and a guy, and the second one just came off. You're still at 10 workers on minerals. And you're sitting on 1,300. You should be expanding at this point and starting to dump massive resources into stuff. You should have the workers to be able to build the structures you need.
Gotcha.
Like when I played Terran against you earlier, I had 2 barracks going. Because there's really no reason not to. The economy's fast enough that you can sustain it.
Okay.
Just like when I was playing Toss, I had 4 gates up. Just because, warp gates, they take time.
Yeah.
And, I didn't really have a whole lot else to do. And gates are a hell of a lot cheaper than barracks. But our units are more expensive.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's build one of this, build one of that, build one of this, work your way up the tech tree sort of deal. That's some single player stuff. This one base should not sustain you through the entire game, and if it does, well, you're winning in the early game, or you're not winning at all. That's
Gotcha.
It was a smart move on the missile turret, but that came way too late to save you. I don't know if you see the mutaballs already moving.
Yeah, no, I...
And you only had the one, and it wasn't where you needed it to be. Like, you started building the second command center, but you started building it in your base. Generally not a great idea. You're better off, marching one of your SCVs down to start your expansion. When it comes time for that.
Okay.
I know I'm probably coming off a bit harsh, but I'm trying to help you get better. I'm not.
Yeah, no, like any tips you can give is going to be useful.
Also, why did you just stop at this point? This is something that. Let me pause this real quick.
Game paused.
Like when I'm screwing around in your SCV line and hitting your geysers and stuff, you've still got a solid chunk of resources. You could probably spit out an SCV that I wouldn't notice between the orbital command and the siege tank because of where you're rallied to between the factory and the engineering bay, and sneak it off and actually build a command center somewhere else and try and stay in the game and make me think you've got an expansion somewhere.
Gotcha. Okay.
I've seen people recover from positions like this before.
Gotcha.
So, also, the orbital command can lift off. The planetary fortress can't, but I notice you've never used it. But you can load like 5 SCVs.
Right, but mutas can attack air, can't they?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't really have done much of anything if I had lift off.
Well, what you could have done is when I was here, attacking this crap up here, you could have loaded a couple guys up, lifted off, and gone elsewhere before my mutas even came in that far.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, it's just an option you've got, but I notice like once I start rolling in, you just sort of completely shut down.
Yeah, I'm not used to this, so I'm still trying to I kind of start to get overwhelmed, and I'm like, well, I don't know what the fuck to do right now. So,
yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, while I'm just chilling over here, smashing the hell out of your shit, just keep pumping out Marines.
Okay.
Because on the one hand, it gives you a chance to put a stop to my shenanigans. And on the other hand, it also, say I just run in like 6 mutas because that's all I've got, and I screw myself, which is not generally going to be the case, but I've done crazy bullshit like that before.
Right.
If you manage to stop that push and can work on a counter push, that could be the difference between winning and losing the game.
Gotcha.
So it's just something to consider.
Okay.
Game resumed.
And can we speed this up? Because from here, it's just very, very sad.
Yeah, I was about to say. It's just downhill from here, so...
Yeah. I mean, it was downhill from before here. But we play complete... Okay, what do we do now?
I don't know.
I don't know how to get out of this.
Menu quit replay.
Oh, okay. Oh, unfortunately, that doesn't bring the bars back up. But
Alrighty. Well, I'll look at that next time.
did you want to look at one of the other matches we played?
No, it's pretty much the same thing.
Well, no, I mean like that was me playing Zerg. I don't know if you wanted to see me just rolling some Terran for a bit, like in our first game.
I want to try something first,
Okay.
and then after that we can look at your Terran one.
All right, it's pretty bad because I'm not really a Terran player, but there might be some things in there that'll assist.
Yeah.
Which is why I was wondering if you wanted to do that before.
Yeah, I guess might as well then.
Well, I'm already back in custom games
Oh.
now because you said no, but it was just. I'm trying to find a map we haven't played on yet. There's not really a whole lot of 1v1 maps. Most maps are, 2v2, 3v3, and you just play them with 2 players. But the way this custom game setup is awful.
I can only imagine.